Hi, Andrew. Welcome to the How to Be a Redhead podcast. How are
I'm
you?
good. How are you? It's so nice to finally meet you
We're
guys.
doing, I
I
know,
know.
we're doing so wonderful. Love your background, by the way.
Uh,
Is that your wall right now?
so I'm actually in my studio, and this is like an inspo wall. It's like all the
Cool.
Vogue covers that have ever existed, and I'm just obsessed. It really
Wow.
helps me get into that creative way of thinking.
Yeah, I love that. So I guess speaking of, we'll go into your career and everything, but what inspired you to become a hairstylist?
Oh, so it started really early on for me. I'm very close to my mum, and when I was growing up, she had like a group of friends that were all hairstylists. And I always remember that before they'd ever go like on a night out or get ready for an event, that would be like their magic time. And I think I was just always
Mm,
around it and always just took note
Mm.
of what was going on and how they all made each other feel. And then slowly but surely, I started getting involved and I started like blow drying people's hair and things like that. So that's kind of where it started. But then once I finished school, I went to college and I was like,
hmm
okay, I really want to give this a go. I feel like I enjoy it. It's something I can really get my teeth into. Um, and I began a college course. I think you call it cosmetology school over there.
We
Yeah.
do,
Yeah. What
yeah.
do you guys call it?
Well, it's just college, which is like before you would go to
Okay.
university.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And the course is 2 years long, but I actually got through it in 6 months. Um, and I can only put that
Just
down to
because
the
you
fact
loved
I was
it?
around it constantly growing up.
Okay.
So
So it's natural, but it must feel natural to you to be able to do that, to be able to do it
Mm.
so quickly, compared to everyone else.
yeah, I think like definitely like glamorous hair comes quite easy. Where I'm from in the UK, it's the north. And if
Okay.
there's
Mm.
any UK listeners that are listening, they'll know that like they love big, glamorous hair. Yeah,
Okay.
do
Really?
you guys have
That's so
an area
interesting.
like that in the US?
Yeah,
I mean,
Texas, I
Yes. Oh
guess.
my God. Yes.
yeah.
Texas. Yeah. Like it's not the equivalent, but how they like to style their hair,
Yeah.
like that's kind of where I'm from. So I've grew up watching people doing
Okay.
that. Um,
Cool.
yeah. And then I was in a salon for a little while, but I never felt like it fit. And
Mm.
yeah, it was
Mm.
it was a bit weird. Like
So you prefer editorial or red carpet?
yeah, but I didn't know like you could do this for a full-time job. I thought it was only
Right,
like
right. You're like, "Oh my gosh, I must be either, you know, dreaming this
yeah.
or." Yeah, right.
Well,
Right, right. So what happens where like how do you get the representation and how did you decide, okay, I can do this?
so I began assisting a session stylist called Luke Pluckrose. Um, I kind of gravitated towards him because his brand, everything about him was just I adored. And
Mm.
like he was a really great mentor for me, and he kind of led me down a path, showed me the route, and I ended up signing with his agent. And then
Mm.
from there,
Good for you.
now
Wow.
I kind of travel the world, chasing the red carpet, doing editorials. I've just got back from Cannes Film Festival like
I was just gonna
2 days
ask.
ago, um, which was amazing. Cannes is always a good vibe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's so cool.
We
We've
went
been.
years
It's an
ago.
amazing. Yeah.
Adrian and I backpacked. Adrian, how long ago?
Oh my gosh, like 15 years ago,
Yeah.
maybe.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
we
And that
went,
was one of our stops.
yeah, it was
You
Yeah.
know,
it
It
was
was really,
awesome.
really
I think
awesome.
it's still the same because I went about 12 years ago and not much has changed.
Okay.
It's still
Oh,
like
really?
it's still
Okay.
got the strip across the front and um
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean the hotels have had a
Yeah, it's just so
facelift, but apart
picturesque.
from that, it's still the same.
Okay.
Oh, that's so awesome. And so speaking of celebrities, we know that you did, and correct us if we're wrong, but Sadie Sink's hair for the Hollywood Reporter. We see it pinned to your
Yeah.
Instagram. She's one of our
So
favorite
oh my
redheads.
gosh, yeah.
So she's so amazing. So we want to get into a lot of your work, but how was it working with her and that experience? Because we know that issue came out, I think, over a year ago.
Yeah, so that was really random. Like, I have my agent to thank for that. Like,
Mm.
totally. I got a call
Mhm.
about 2 days before saying, "Can you be in Berlin? Um, you're probably going to be needed for editorial." And I didn't really know who it was for until the day before. And I was like, when I heard it was Sadie Sink, I was like, yes! Like, me and my husband have had conversations about how I really want redheads on my page. Like, and I
Yeah, I
feel
Oh,
like
love
I've
that.
manifested redhead clients. I feel like it glows up the page, and being a redhead is such a niche. And I was like, I
Yeah.
just want like a couple of redheads on my page, and then I ended up with Sadie Sink, and I was like, it's one of the best best
duh.
redheads to have. But she's cool.
Yep.
She's really chilled. She doesn't like a lot of heat on her hair. She likes to have a lot of natural vibes. Um,
Okay.
she was really easy to work with. Like, yeah.
That is so cool. That is so cool. We wish we had someone like Sadie Sink growing
Mhm.
up, because we didn't have a lot
Yeah.
of redheads to look up to. We didn't have a lot of celebrities. I mean, we talked about this on the podcast. We had Lindsay
Yep.
Lohan and Julianne Moore. That's really it.
Mm, yeah,
And
yeah.
we didn't have anyone our age, but for anyone who's growing up and is, Sadie Sink's age, even, we're much older than her, but I still admire her because she has really been influencing not only like
Mhm.
redheads, but just everyone. I just think she's so super
Yeah,
talented.
she's cool as
Mhm.
well. Like, and her red hair is a part of her identity. I think if you took the red hair away,
Mm,
she
yeah.
just wouldn't look like Sadie
True.
Sink. Um, where
Right.
on the other hand, one of my other clients, Meredith Duxbury, she
Yeah.
Yes.
transitioned to being a redhead, um,
Right.
which I'm sure you know of Meredith because everybody does.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't actually
Yeah. Yeah.
take her to red. I wish it would have been me. Um, she's got a
Okay.
hairstylist in New York that actually did that with her, and it was so good. I was like, how has she not done this sooner? Um, it created a whole image for her. She's got her own niche now. Like, yeah, I'm obsessed with her red hair.
Me too. It's
Yeah, it's
it
gorgeous.
really looks so good with her skin too, like during her
Mhm.
eyes. It's something about the color.
Mhm.
Um, but you did work with her.
Yeah.
So how was that experience just working with her
Yeah,
after she was red?
So
and styling her hair.
I've done a couple of seasons for Fashion Month with Meredith, and she's also cool. What I will say is, if you want your red hair to glow, hydration is key. So
Yeah.
when
Mm,
I'm dealing with one of the picture that I've got pinned to my Instagram, that was one of the first times I'd seen Meredith since she went to Redhead, and when she had blonde hair, her hair had been bleached like a little bit, so naturally it can feel a little bit dry, although she's got a good head of hair. So it was important for me to use the right products. When I'm talking about
mhm.
hydration, I'm also talking about hydration internally to the hair too. So
Okay.
Okay.
you guys have so much knowledge on it, but there's like inbound and outbound moisture. And the
Mm.
outbound moisture
Yes.
is what you can physically feel in your hands when the hair is sopping wet. But the inbound moisture is the hydration that's internal to the hair. And if you over dry the hair, I don't know if you've ever felt this, your hair
Mm.
feels like weird and dry and
Yeah.
brittle. And you know you don't
Yeah.
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
dry
Yeah.
hair, but for a redhead, you should always make sure that your inbound and your outbound moisture levels are perfect. Does that
Okay.
make
So
sense?
what did you do for Meredith? Yeah. So what did you do? Like, can you walk us through the steps on what you did for that inbound and outbound
So
hydration?
inbound, I've actually got my kit here. I like to use a product by Redken. Don't know if you can see that.
Okay.
Oh,
This is their ABC
yeah.
range, and this is a leave-in treatment. and it's got a really nice texture to it. It doesn't feel greasy, and you just do like a pea-sized amount, and you spread it through your hands and rake it through your hair. I would avoid the root area just because it is a treatment, and then
Okay.
Mm,
you would blow dry that in along with a heat protector. A heat
okay.
protector for me is for the outbound. So I like to go with good old Plea by
Oh,
L'Oreal.
okay.
Ooh.
Every salon will know of this product. It's
Yeah.
not
So how do
expensive.
you so you do this after or you're spraying when your hair's wet?
Yeah. So first you're going with
Okay.
Mhm.
the ABC, and then you go to
Okay.
Plea, a heat protector.
Okay.
And that way you've got your internal moisture, and then you've got your barrier for the heat.
Mm,
Okay.
okay.
And then you begin your blow
Wow.
drying and your styling.
And then
So
what do you apply at the end?
So at the end, you can run like a little oil through the hair, through the ends. That will also enhance some shine
Okay.
and luminosity. Um, but if you've got a great canvas, then you're able to almost do anything. And as a redhead, your hair reflects light so well that it should
mm,
shine.
Mm,
yeah, I love that. I love that. Do you
me
have any
too.
so are those your favorite products, those 2 that you just shared, and then an oil
Yeah,
after?
I mean, I have got like, I could be here all day listing my products, but there's like
I'm
the
sure.
shine sprays out there too. So like Color Wow has a
Yeah.
mystical shine spray, and that creates like a
Mhm.
mirror shine, but that's all artificial. So that's a great product just to spritz at the end. Um, where for redheads, most importantly, I like to concentrate on the hair health.
Mm,
So
Right, which
it's
is so
healthy through
important.
and
Yeah.
through, and then you've got that natural
mhm.
shine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what are some tips and tricks that you share with your clients? I'm sure that it varies based off of who's sitting in your chair and their hair texture, their hair length, right?
Yeah. I mean, celebrities are in the hairstyling chair most days.
All the
So
time.
they're
Yeah.
going to have
Mm,
a product build up. So I am very big
okay.
Okay.
on like detoxifying your hair. There's a product by L'Oreal called Metal Detox.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Ooh.
this is cool. So you'd spritz that all over your hair, let the
Okay.
product do its thing, and then shampoo it, and then put a treatment on afterwards. Color
Oh,
Wow
wow.
also have their version. I think Orbay have a version, but when you have too much product living in your hair, it's not going to reflect the light as well as fresh, clean
Yeah.
hair would. So
So, is
Mm.
that a clarifying shampoo?
yeah, so this is the treatment before the shampoo. Yeah,
Oh,
Okay.
gotcha. Gotcha. And then you apply the clarifying shampoo to get all the
yeah,
product out if you have
yeah.
buildup.
This is really big
Okay.
in like cities like London and New York because we have so many metals in our
Mm.
water. So
Mm.
like
Oh, such a good
sometimes
point. Yeah.
it doesn't come from like too much styling products.
Yes.
But the
Mm,
water
It's
in
the
big cities is a
water.
lot harder than if you were like towards the beach,
Yes.
towards the coast, it'd be a little bit softer.
Yeah. It is softer. Yeah. I was actually just talking with a friend who lives in New York
mhm,
City, and she was saying how affected her hair is when
mm.
she is home. And then she notices when she's at a hotel in other
Hmm.
cities how softer her hair is. So I was recommending like a like a shower
Oh
filter.
yeah, they're cool.
Yeah.
They're super cool.
Yeah, speaking of water too, I was went down this deep hole for like hair health the other day, and
Oh,
I saw that this is just the United States, but we can go now on like the EPA's website, like warning for people who are going to be
God.
like seeing all of the different things in their water.
Yeah.
But you go on EPA's website, you just type in your zip code and it'll tell you all of the bad stuff that's in your water. And it'll give you levels of like how bad it is, and I already know that where I live is bad water. I already know that. But and I have filters all over my house, but I think too it's like so easy to just get a filter. I think I remembered that I hadn't changed my filter in probably 8, 9 months. I just forgot. So I like went on Amazon right away and I started like buying new filters and just like, thinking about how important it is
Mhm.
to really know what's in your water. Cause people who are in New York or wherever, like if you just type in and you get to see what's in your water, what I love about that is then when you're finding your filter, you can make sure that that chemical that's in there that you see on the EPA's website is like
Mm.
getting filtered out
Gets
through your
eliminated.
filter.
That's a really good
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys,
Yeah.
I'd become
Just a deep
obsessed
hole, deep
with
hole.
something like that.
You're
I'd
Yeah.
be like anxiety
Me too.
prone to it. Like, it's
Yes.
great it's
I
out
know.
there, but for me, just get me the filter. I will just be blind to it.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
the same way, Andrew. I can't go on a website like that because then I'll go down a deep rabbit hole and be like, "Oh my god, what have I been doing in the past?" But no, it's good
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
filters are out there and then products are out there. So if you do feel like you have hard water, for example,
Mhm.
you can use the right products. How does someone know listening if they have product buildup? I feel like that's something that we keep seeing more and more
Yeah.
talked about online, but like, are you supposed to just look at your hair and be, I don't know. For me, I noticed that even after if I go weeks and weeks without using a clarifying shampoo, for instance, and then I wash my hair, like if I do a double wash, and then I notice that my hair still feels greasy at
Mhm.
the root,
Mhm.
I think back, okay, I have been using like certain amount of styling products the past few weeks. I think my hair has buildup, but I know just being in the beauty world as long as we have, I know that and I know my hair, but someone listening that may not know and they're hearing about product buildup
Yeah.
for the very first time, how does someone know if they have it?
So it usually starts with like a concern of like your hair isn't looking as vibrant, or your hair doesn't
Oh,
feel
Okay. So it's
great.
okay.
looking dull.
Yeah, it might feel dull, and then when you start looking into why, that's where you will discover maybe I've got product buildup. Um,
Okay.
Mm.
unless some people don't realize they've got it because their hair has always felt
Right.
that way. But if they sit in a salon chair and they say, my red is starting to look really dull and I don't know why, the hairstylist will feel and they will know, like, you can see clean hair. Like,
Mm.
Mhm.
so
Yeah. Yeah.
it
Yeah.
usually starts with a concern. But if in doubt, there's no harm in just giving your hair a little clarifying shampoo anyway. You'll feel
True.
amazing after it. Um, so yeah.
How about someone, I remember talking to our mom, Adrienne, the other week, and I was mentioning to her, "Oh, use a clarifying shampoo." And she said, "I don't like to use those because she colors her hair." So, for someone that's listening and watching and they're redheads and maybe they faded and they need to
Mm.
up their hair or they dye their
Mhm.
hair, do you use a clarifying shampoo? Is our mom right that it does strip the color?
It depends on what type of color they're getting at the salon. If it's a
Oh,
semi-permanent,
okay.
I believe it will take away some of the reflect.
Okay.
If
Okay.
it's a
Okay.
toner, it will wash the toner out. So if you're somebody that's been to a salon and you don't like the color of your hair,
Oh.
a clarifying shampoo is your best
Oh,
friend for a little while because it
that's
will
cool.
eliminate, because
Oh. Yeah.
the molecules aren't as big and they're not as like stuck to the hair. But if you have
Okay.
Mm.
permanent, permanent should not move.
It shouldn't move.
No,
Okay.
permanent
That's it.
is like the hair has changed color, and that is that. Unless
That's
you're
it.
going to put bleach on it,
Yeah.
and even sometimes when you put bleach on, sometimes the molecules still don't move. Um, but if
Okay.
someone's going to get the hair colored regularly, I'd probably say do it just before your hair appointment. Don't do it after, because you're just
Mm.
stripping away the hard work that hairstylist has
Right.
just put in. So I would
Yeah.
probably do a little refresh at home before going to the salon.
Okay. And how about frizz? Just, I think that's
I
a
know
common
redheads have
question we
frizz.
get.
Oh, we
And
do.
with humidity, and maybe you style it and you got little spiky frizzes in the front, or you go outside and the
Guys,
weather isn't your best friend. What do you
it
recommend?
happens to us all. Like,
I
I've had red
know. I
carpets.
know.
It's a challenge. You just have to toy with products and find what's best for your hair.
Okay.
Sometimes
Mm.
when that humidity hits, sometimes like there's not much you can do. However, Um,
Yeah.
Color Wow Dream Coat is great for
Mm.
humidity.
Oh,
Oh my god,
okay.
Do you guys use
yes.
it?
Yes, we've tried that product, but their line is really
It
wonderful.
is. What I would say is if you're going to keep going in heavy with Color Wow, you will get product buildup. And I think that's why the brand has
Okay.
created a line um, of it, like a detoxifying
Okay.
shampoo. So just bear in mind, you probably will get buildup if you keep using it because this product stays in the hair for up to 3 washes.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
they promote
wow.
it like that.
3.
So that's like one of the benefits. Um, but
Okay.
I will go to Color Wow usually if somebody's got frizzy hair. Um, Sometimes for some
okay.
hairstyles, I love a bit of frizz. I
I
actually
love
love
You
it.
do
that.
just for like a little it's like a little
Yeah,
texture.
like let's embrace it. Like if I know your hair's gonna frizz up on that red carpet, I might not want to smooth it out because let's just work with it with what we've got. But that's
Yeah, I
knowing
love
your
that.
clients and knowing your client's hair. Sometimes it is your first time seeing them and they are on the red carpet,
Mm,
and you're like, okay, things can happen, but it's kind of out of your control. All you can do is your best. But Green
Right.
Coat is a great option and it retails in a lot of places. So for anyone listening, um, it's quite easy to get.
oh,
Okay.
that's cool.
I know. That is really cool. Um,
Also, if you're doing a slick pony and you have a bit of frizz
oh yeah.
with there,
Yeah, what's a tip?
I love a wax stick.
Oh,
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah, yeah, and you can
gosh.
just put it right
Yeah,
on?
literally. And
My hairstylist just did for me yesterday.
Is that
She went through with
bedhead?
yeah,
that
this is
balm.
the bedhead, the TG one. Literally,
Yeah.
look, we call it a Pritt stick in the UK. It's like when children are like
Oh,
playing in like kindergarten and they're sticking pictures to a page or something.
Yeah,
That's what it kind of looks
a
like.
glue stick. Yeah.
It's great.
So so you do that after. That's a styling product after your hair
Yeah,
is already dried and you're noticing some frizzies, you can
yeah,
just
for sure. Like
use
if you've
that.
got your hair slicked back, get out the Pritt stick and
mhm.
go in with it. It's perfect. There's other like options as well. Like if you are type 3 or type 4, something like that isn't strong
Mhm.
enough. You will need an edge
Okay.
control, which is a bit thicker, a
So
bit more heavy duty.
so how about a product like that? Could you put it on your hands if your hair's down like Adrian's hair
Yeah.
right now, and she said what her hairstylist did yesterday when she got a
Mhm.
blowout, you could do that and, like, lightly
For sure.
get your little frizzies?
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes I will like rub the stick into my hands and then I will use the heat
Mm,
of my hands to make it break it down and then I'll lightly
okay.
grace
Okay.
it over the head just to get rid of the
Okay.
flyaways at the top. It's important that you work it through your hands, otherwise it can make your hair look greasy.
Yeah,
If
right,
Right.
you're ever
right.
in
Right.
doubt,
I
Right.
think I need it.
just use a little bit and build.
Okay. Little bit goes a
Yeah.
long
Mhm.
way. I have to do
That
something like
that's
that.
something we should all know.
I know. When I slick back my hair, I tend to use a hairspray, and then I realize it's not working. So I think I need to use a product like that.
Yeah, like give it a go. It might be better for you. Sometimes hairsprays are better for other people. It's
Yeah.
trial and error, but that's one of my quick fixes.
Okay. I love that tip,
That's
especially with the humidity. I mean, like, yeah, sometimes our hair gets crazy.
Redheads, have you heard?
We aired on ABC's Shark Tank, episode 14, season 15. We are busy developing products and continuing to grow this incredible redhead lifestyle brand.
Check out our mascara and eyebrow products in red hot shades, hair care merch, lifestyle items, and so much more. Redheads, we can now rejoice.
Finally, there are products for us.
Use code podcast to get 15% off your next purchase. Shop at shop.howtobearedhead.com. It really, really does. So that makes me think too. So when you have your clients, whether they're redheads or not, in your
Mhm.
chair, is there one tip after you're done styling them? Are you like, this
Mm.
is what you should do, maybe for like the remainder of the day or whatever it is? Do you ever give all your clients just one piece of advice?
I do this thing, and I don't know if it's advice or if it's just me being bossy, but I always say, because most clients will have a better side. Do you guys have a better side?
I
Yeah.
think so. I think so,
So
yeah.
through the appointment, I will always say like, "Do you have a better side that you like to be photographed from?" And then I bear that in mind
Okay.
because I don't want to like if we're having a side part, I don't want to cover the side of the face that they prefer.
Okay.
Um,
Mhm.
so before I
Mm.
leave, I actually have a client that I adore. Like she holds a special place in my heart. Her name's Nikki Lilly, and we will always have a posing
Mm.
session.
You
Yeah, and
will. I wonder if celebrities do
literally,
this. When I see them on the red carpet, I'm like, "Who are they posing with before to get that perfect
mhm.
pose?" It's their hairstylist. It's
Yeah,
you.
literally, I am like, okay, you're gonna look over your shoulder, chin down, chin up, and
Okay.
just because a lot of celebrities they look confident on the red carpet, but sometimes they are completely out of their comfort zone. So
Yeah.
sometimes I
Mm.
like to go through like posing techniques. Um, I do love, I do hand out to my clients. If somebody has their hair down, I always hand out
Yeah.
an anti-static
Oh, a
wide
little
tooth comb
wide tooth comb.
Okay.
because if they've got their special brush that they like to use and they go through their hair with their special brush, sometimes it can go,
Mhm.
no, 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 don't do that. I spent
Mm.
so hard making your hair all really nice and perfect. Don't do that. If you if
Yeah.
you're wanting
Yeah.
to comb your hair, use this. Um, and I buy them in like jazzy colors, so it stands out in their handbag, so they can't really lose it. So that's another.
I love that
That's a
tip.
really
I
great tip.
love that. It's a wide tooth
Yeah,
comb. Is that
anti-static.
right?
You
Yeah.
can buy them anywhere.
Anti-static.
They're
Anti-static.
really
Okay.
inexpensive, but they're just like a lifesaver in a moment where
Mhm.
if they've noticed like they've got some knots because I can't be there with them like
The whole
Yeah.
24/7.
night. Yeah. That makes
Yeah.
sense. But that's only if your hair's down.
Yeah. Or like in a
Okay.
ponytail. Sometimes I'll
Right.
say to
Okay.
the assistant, take this, take this. You'll be on hair watch.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And what so we see that you style wigs as well, which is really
Yeah.
cool. And we talked a lot about this on our podcast actually, about how wigs are getting better and better every year, which is
Mhm.
amazing. And some of our favorite celebrities rock wigs. I think people may not even know if they are rocking a
Mhm.
wig because it's done so
Yeah.
well nowadays. Can you talk to us more about this and the amount of work that goes into each wig and how you got into wig styling?
So wigs generally comes in more handy for me personally in editorials. I don't have many
Right.
clients that rock a wig on the red carpet. However, I'm ready. I've got like loads of wigs if anyone needs one. Um,
That's awesome.
but it usually sometimes like when you're doing an editorial and you've got 6 or 7 looks, sometimes it's easier to just use a wig or like 7
Mm.
wigs because
Mm.
they can be prepped beforehand and you can just pop them on the head, nail it
Oh.
down, we're good to go. But the
Yep.
amount of work that goes into it is it's a little bit more tricky to work on than a human's head. It like the hair doesn't.
It
Okay.
is
Yeah,
trickier.
because you've you've got the lace which you're not able to get any dye on, so that is quite
Mm.
fiddly. The hair sometimes doesn't sit in the same way that you would want it to, so then you have to manipulate it. And most hair either comes in like a yellow blonde or a really dark color. So more than
Okay. So
often
you have to dye
you are
them and
dyeing
color
them,
them.
yeah.
Okay.
And
Mhm.
then you have to cut it to shape, and sometimes you're cutting it when the model or the talent isn't on set, so sometimes you'll be cutting things almost blind, but then you just know when you get on
Oh.
set you can alter things.
Right, right. Because everyone's like
That is an art
Mhm.
form. Wow.
yeah, because everyone's face is so shaped differently, which can change the haircut that that person's
Yeah,
getting.
but what I do love
Yeah.
about wigs is somebody like a lot of like models see a wig on a stand and they're like, that will not look good on me. That's not going near my
Mm.
head. You pop it on, and then they're like, actually, I'm rocking this look. And it just gives them a whole
Yeah.
new character, especially if you've got like a blonde and you turn her into a brunette, like within like 2 minutes, or the other way around, or like even a redhead to like, I don't know, like
Yeah,
different
yeah.
curly hair. Like it just brings out different characters and it allows us to get more out of a shoot. I know like
Yeah, that
Hmm.
makes sense.
the Kardashians, they've like really shone a spotlight on wearing wigs.
Wigs.
And I
Mhm.
guess it's another way for them to switch it up constantly. I think they're really fun.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, that
Right.
makes sense, and it's good, if you're a redhead, we've talked about this with several actors
Mhm,
and actresses, and we're like, "Okay, you being a natural redhead, maybe it's someone who's never dyed their
mhm,
hair, and they get a role, let's say, where they have to dye their hair." It's interesting how most say, well, thankfully for
mhm.
wigs, I would happily,
Mhm.
accept the role. And if it is, like the character's blonde, at least a wig is an
Yeah.
option. So you don't have to dye your hair. But in a redhead world, most redheads that we talk to, right, Adrian, always say, oh my
Yep.
God, thankful for wigs because I don't know if I'd color my hair. Like Julianne Moore always
Mhm.
said she wouldn't color her hair and she uses wigs. I know that movie that
Jessica Chastain
Yeah.
Jessica
too.
Chastain too, yeah, there's a couple I'm drawing a blank on the movie that Julianne Moore was in on Netflix, last year, she was nominated
Oh,
for
May December.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
where she was a blonde in
Mhm.
it, and in the beginning, I thought, "Oh my gosh, did she color her hair?" But then I Googled it and read an article saying that it was a wig, and then I think she posted a video of her putting on the wig on her Instagram,
Yeah.
so I'm sure actors and actresses are so thankful for wigs.
Yeah, have you guys ever dyed your hair?
No.
I
No, Stephanie
used
did.
to, yeah, for 7, 8 years. I started in the 4th
Mhm.
grade, so I think that's 6, maybe 10 years old, give or take, and I went all the way up to freshman year in college, and then finally I stripped the color, went back to my red hair, but it took years to get the bleach out of my
Yeah.
hair, and then I caused so much
Mhm.
damage. Bleach just did I mean, I was wondering why my hair was never getting long, and I thought, "Oh, I'm just someone that the ends get all strangly after you hit a certain point," you know?
Mhm.
And it was always like once it got anything lower than like my collarbone, it just looked stringy. And then I found out that's the dye because now that my hair is naturally red, like my natural hair, my ends, I think back to like those 15 years ago and didn't know that it was the bleach and
There's
just
breakage.
also cut. Yeah, because it's the bleach. It was the bleach and then all the styling
Mhm.
products. I never embraced naturally air drying my
Yeah.
hair, and now I do that more with I think as you get older, you learn more about yourself and your hair.
Mhm.
So, yes, what a journey my hair was because I look back at
And so
photo.
many redheads, Stephanie, can understand, like, where you're coming
Yeah,
from. I mean,
yeah.
like your story, so many
Mhm.
redheads wanna cover their hair and then they go back, and
Mm.
Andrew, I'm sure you see
Yeah.
it all the time,
Yeah.
It's
just
I
the
think I
dyeing.
know it can be difficult from your what you went through, but I think if you would have dyed it black, oh my god,
Oh,
getting it back to red from, like, when someone told
would
you
that have taken
oh my god, it's like a nightmare, especially if somebody has done it at home, and the hairstylist
Oh,
doesn't really
Oh
know
no.
my
what they've put on their
god.
hair. Um,
Yeah.
thank God you didn't
What a
have it
disaster.
that way round, because you
You
can
know
do your best, but you've gotta grow it out.
Yeah, I know, and that took so long, and I had to be so
Mhm.
patient because every few months, I'd go to the salon, they'd cut a little bit of the blonde that was growing on the ends, and then I would see they had
Mm.
to, like, put highlights in my hair for it to kind of
Yeah,
blonde or red highlights for it to, like, all
yeah.
blend in, but I look back at photos, and it's one of those I don't know if you ever had you look back at photos and you're like, "Was that me?"
Mhm.
But I know it was me and it feels like a
Yeah.
different time. Like, it feels like it wasn't my life on this earth. It was like, "Oh, it was a past me," but
Yeah.
it was me. So yeah, it was just something I just had to get out of my system, and
Of course.
it's nice c yeah, but, like, our followers, a lot of redheads who write in and say, "I wanna dye my hair blonde. what do I do? I don't love being a redhead, and it's nice because I can really connect with them,
Mm.
and I understand what they went through because I also went through that when I was a teenager.
And you also get like a moment of like, I want to change. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fun.
right, right.
Like let's have a change. So if somebody does it, that's fine. Just know that it's gonna take a while to get back to your natural,
Mhm.
beautiful hair. But like some of my friends dyed their hair pink. If someone dyes their hair blue
Okay, that's really trendy,
or
yeah.
the
Yeah.
blue, like I don't know how they're gonna like. It takes forever to get blue out because from blue it goes to green, and well, it's just a whole thing.
Oh, so you're saying if you're a natural redhead and you're wanting to just change up your hair and do something different, the best bet is really to do blonde, because if you do blue or black
Or
or
pink.
brown, it's really hard to get back, and your only choice is to grow it out because of the dark pigment.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you can do your best to try and get it back, and you will get an artificial red tone, but it's really hard to match
Mm,
your root. But yeah, blonde is
wow.
like your safe option because you
Okay.
it's a little bit easier than the rest of them. But I'm not saying don't dye your
Okay.
hair, guys. Have fun with your hair. Like hairstylists all over the world be
Mm-hmm.
like, "What is he saying?" Um, everyone should like play with their hair color at some point. I've even played with
Yeah.
mine. When I was younger, I was silver. I think it was around the time when
Oh,
Cisco was
cool.
about
Oh,
and
I
he had
like.
his thong song,
Yeah, I love
and I was
that. I
like,
love
I
that.
want to see
Yeah,
how
yeah.
this looks on me. Um, yeah, when we're younger, we just go through phases, and right now, I've only just started wearing my hair wavy. I did,
It looks
I
great. I
really
love
like
it.
it.
I
I like
love
the way
it.
oh,
you
thank
styled
you
it.
guys.
Yeah,
I
same.
didn't know I had this wave, and I'm a
No
hairstylist.
You
Yeah.
way.
didn't.
It happened a couple of months ago, and I was like, I grew my hair a little bit longer, and I was like, wow, how is so? Yeah.
You're embracing
Wow.
it.
Mhm.
We wanted to ask too, do you have a dream celebrity client you'd like to work with?
I mean, I have loads.
What a what a
I
question.
know, guys, put me on the spot. Um, I have loads. I mean,
Any redheads?
yes.
I guess we can
Although
key
I
in
don't
on
think she's
that.
natural.
It's okay.
It's okay.
I'd
Hey.
love an Emma Stone.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Like,
I think did
know.
I read she wants to go by Emily now, her biological
oh,
name?
really? Oh, God. Well, Emily
I think
Stone,
I read
I
that.
am here for
I
you if
think
you're
I read that.
listening.
I think I don't know, Steph. Is that what happened? I thought I read that
Yes.
someone called her
No, no, Emma Stone would like to use her real name, Emily Stone.
Oh,
Yeah, in an
wow.
article
After
just
all
last
these
week.
years.
Yeah.
Oh, is that why that I don't know if you guys saw that video has been trending where the reporter called her Emily and she was like really happy
Oh,
about it. And I was so confused. I
Yeah,
was like, "Oh,
apparently she said, like,
is she
"That's my
wanting to be called
name."
Emily?"
Yeah, yeah, I think she wants to be called Emily now, so I don't know the story on why she changed it from Emma,
Yeah.
but guys,
but yeah, if she's listening.
But yeah,
have you
Emma
seen
Stone,
Poor
Emily
Things,
Stone would be great.
the film?
Haven't seen it yet,
I
but my
mean, what
husband
are
and
you
I have it
doing?
saved. I know, we were
Our cousin was telling us, Stephanie Brenna was telling me in Vermont. She was like, "You have to watch it. It's the best movie." It's she
apparently.
said it's weird
Yeah.
but good.
I spent the first half an
Yeah,
hour in the cinema like, what?
what's
What am I
happening?
watching? And then I started
Yeah.
crying towards the end because I was so involved in the storyline.
Oh,
She's just
I
everything.
know, she won Best
Yeah,
Actress.
she did. Yeah, and it was
Yeah.
well deserved. And she's rocking a wig.
Wow.
She is rocking a wig in
Mhm,
it. Okay. I didn't know that, but I've seen the
mhm,
trailer and yeah, I don't know why we didn't watch it the other week, but my husband and I were just about to, and I think we watched another one that was like nominated for Best Picture. We kind of like to go through the list when it comes out.
mhm,
So we're still working our way through it, but yes, it's something that I've heard multiple times from people on, "Did you watch that movie? Did you watch that movie?"
mhm.
So, she is iconic. I mean, she's so beautiful and
And she doesn't have social media.
no,
I
she
just love
doesn't.
that about her. I love that
Yeah.
she's one of the only celebrities I think that has like gotten away with it. If you
Mm,
think about like even like the people who Jennifer Aniston for so long didn't have it, then she eventually got it. I'm sure her
Mhm.
agent was like, "You got to get on Instagram." But Emma Stone, And I think Scarlett Johansson, there's like a few who like have skated by, not
Guys,
getting social
she
media,
must have
but
it. She's
good for
just being a
them.
little ghost and she's watching everything.
Right.
How could you not have Instagram? I am addicted. I can't stay off it. It's annoying. Um,
It is
yeah, I hope she
annoying.
hears
I
this on your
agree.
Instagram. Be like, hey.
Yeah, Emily Stone, if you're watching or listening.
Have Andrew do your
Please.
hair. It's
Do
a
you know what it is about
public
her as
service
well?
announcement.
Like, and this is another thing about my dream clients. I It's a whole team effort. When you're getting somebody
Mm,
ready, and it's a little bit of like a
mm.
relay race, and the makeup artist is passing the baton to me, and then I'm passing it to the stylist, and then the stylist is passing
Yeah.
it to the talent, and they run the
Yeah.
final 100 meters. But if any of us drop the baton beforehand, it's like it's
That's such a
not
good point.
great. It's not great, and like I just want a talent where the team is like phenomenal. We all match each other's
Yeah.
energy. Going to work is a blast. Like, and I feel like Emma
Mhm.
Stone or Emily Stone, you would have fun because she's quite real.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So, Andrew, what can we expect from you next? What are you working on?
So I'm always like up to something. But my biggest focus for this year is America. Um,
Okay.
Coming to America. Okay, doing more work in
yeah, just do
America?
some more. Like I did my first Oscars this year. That was really
Wow, what
exciting.
an accomplishment.
Um,
Yeah.
and I'm just planning on being visible more so in the States. I love Europe and it's my baby, but it's
Mm,
time. It's
mm.
time to give
To
America a
branch
go.
out.
Yeah.
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 Well, we welcome you.
I
Anytime you
know. We
come, you
love
gotta.
following
Hey,
you. Your Instagram especially, just seeing all your work, it's so beautiful.
Mhm.
It's like you scroll and you're like, "Oh my gosh,
oh,
beautiful,
stop
like
it.
gorgeous." Like every look is just yeah, every look is it's so flawless and it's
You
such
can
a
tell
work
that
of
you care
art.
about it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you. I mean, I never know how to take a compliment, but thank you. That's really kind. And also, I love everything you guys are doing. I also
Oh,
have
thank
something
you.
to ask you, and I don't want to do a spoiler,
Yeah.
but would you guys ever bring out a hair extensions range?
Yeah, we would. We
Yeah,
really, really
yeah.
would.
Because
I know we would. I
it's a
think
gap in the market, and like when
I
I have to
know.
dye red extensions whenever I have to match, but with blonde I don't have to, and I just feel like I'm
Mm,
waiting for the hair extension brand to just have a wide range of red.
Is that
I
a
know.
wide range? Because I remember we talked to someone a while ago on our podcast, and they were saying, the reason why hair extensions with blondes is so easy is like there's really one or two shades of blonde, right? Whereas red, we
There's so
all
many
have different
shades.
shades. So it would be exactly what you said, a wide variety, like 10 or 15 shades as opposed to like one or two, which is what is being offered right now, right?
I reckon, without getting technical, you could cover a lot of clients with about 7 shades of red.
Mm,
Okay.
I
mm.
think you could. If
Okay.
you we can talk another time, but like
If you do the shades
Yeah.
yeah,
right and
like
you touch upon, light all the way to dark.
yeah, and you
Yeah.
could make bundles of different shades of red because not every redhead has the same unique color. Like some have different variation. It's a
Yeah.
whole thing, but I just feel like you guys, like with your platform and everything you're doing, like a cheeky extensions range would just amplify what you're doing.
It's so
Yeah.
funny you say that because, Stephanie and I, we obviously love makeup. And so we have our brow line and we have our makeup, and we're definitely so passionate about that. But what we've been spending probably the last 2 or 3 years on, and we haven't even talked about it, is just more of our
Hair.
hairline. And I think when I was just listening to you talk about the hair extensions, I'm like, oh, that would be so cool to also have the hair extensions with all of the products that we've been developing for hair. That would be just amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, well, I think we'll do it. We'll talk about it and make it happen.
One day, and I remember the
Mhm.
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Andrew
Yeah.
doing,
Hmm.
sparking our, you know, our minds are now going,
I
going,
know.
going. I know how Adrian
Hmm.
is. So thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah, and I think too, just to recap, what you said in the very beginning is Stephanie and I just really, really love what we do every day. And I think that that's what we always want to bring to the podcast is like interesting guests who really love what they do and doing something so different, like never in a million years would anyone think that Stephanie and I could make a career out of what we've done. And I think when I heard you say like you loved styling hair and you didn't know that you could make it your everyday life, and the
Yeah,
fact that
now
you
look.
have is really, really inspirational. And so I hope anyone who's listening feels inspired by you and that you have taken your creativity and made a full-time role, doing what you love. I think that that's really, really just such a powerful thing that you've done with your life.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah, no
you,
Yeah.
problem. And it makes
Andrew.
me laugh too because we interviewed someone from Scotland and she said coming from the UK, she's like, we have a hard time taking compliments. And
Yeah.
so now I'm extra cautious of like when I compliment someone in the UK, I'm like, are they
No,
taking
do you
it
know what it is?
hopefully
The
the
Yeah.
right
natural thing is to downplay it. So, like, if somebody says to you, "Oh, I love
right?
That's
your
what she
outfit," you go,
said.
"Oh yeah, I got it from this place. It was on sale," and you're like, "Why did you tell them
Yeah.
that? Like, stop it." So when you're like,
Oh my
"I'm looking for your Instagram," blah blah, blah, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, like it's not perfect, but like, I'll take a compliment."
no,
Right.
she gave the exact example on
Oh,
Yeah.
if you compliment someone. It's so funny. She said if you compliment someone out saying I love your, I think she said blue dress. Do you guys
Yeah.
remember? Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then she goes, the
We
response
downplay it.
is, "Oh, this old thing, I've had it for 15 years, or I got it at a thrift or
yeah,
something." They downplay instead of saying, "Thank you, I love this blue dress." And
Right,
yeah,
right. She said that's one thing about America she has to get
same.
used to is that
we love the
is
compliments.
is a, we also were like, yeah, thanks so much.
And
Yeah,
like
it's great.
I've met people like on jobs and they're like, "Oh my God, like I love the hair." And I'm like, "Really? Like, okay." And I'm like, are they being fake or is it me not taking a compliment or what? But it's just
Yeah.
something I have to get over because I think British people just downplay everything.
Right. Right. It's just like a cultural thing.
Yeah.
But no, really, really, with all
No, really, your
sincerity.
work is absolutely stunning and you're
Thank
so
you.
talented. And thank you for providing all your tips and I honestly like all those products I'm gonna like add to my cart, even the ones I don't have. So thank you, Andrew, for your time as well.
No, thank you guys for having me.